Hey class, I'm going to talk about section 2 from chapter 8, and it's about finding the perimeters of composite figures. Essential question: how can you find the perimeter of a composite figure? And it helps to know what a composite figure is. A composite figure is made up of triangles, squares, rectangles, semicircles, and other two-dimensional figures. Here are a few examples. So you can see here that this is a square with a triangle attached to it, so it's a composite figure. Think of like a compound word as two words together, sandwich, and things like that, okay? Here's a rectangle and a semicircle together, so that's a composite figure. So to find the perimeter of composite figures, you just basically find the distance around. So think back to the assignment a few days ago. There was a rectangle and a circle. If you just added all that up, okay, that's the composite figure. Think back to circumference. We only use the word circumference when we're talking about a complete circle. So it has to be a whole circle, okay, to use the word circumference. But when it's a semicircle, we use the word perimeter. Okay, so for example 1, we're going to estimate, which means we can just kind of count. And you can see this is on grid paper, which makes it nice and easy. But one of the things that you need to know is that when you have a diagonal like this, let me grab a highlighter real quick. When you have a diagonal, that diagonal here, okay, is the same as 1.5 units, okay? Where just one of these little areas here is 1 unit. So that's something to consider when you're estimating using grid paper. So if we look at this here, we can see it's a rectangle and a triangle. Okay, so we're just going to count the outside pieces. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 units. And if it's a rectangle, that's 6 units. I know down here that that's 6 units. 1, 2, 3, 4 units. And then you have to remember this part here. This is 1, 2, 3, 4 sections. But if each section is 1.5, I know that this piece and this piece together, 1.5 and 1.5 is 3. This piece and this piece is 3. So this whole section is 6, which means this whole section is 6. Okay? So really you just start adding it. We have 4 plus 6 plus 6 plus 6 plus 6, okay, and that equals 32. So the perimeter is about 32 units, and we use the word unit since we don't have an actual unit of measurement, okay? So it's just counting, but this is an important piece to remember right here. All right, go ahead and pause the video and give these two a shot, okay? Keeping in mind this little bit right here. All right, go ahead and pause it. Alrighty, hope you paused it and gave it a try. So the answer to number 1 is approximately or about 32 units. And number 2 is about 33.5 units. All right, if you didn't get those answers, go back and give it another shot, all right? Okay, so moving on, now we're going to actually find some. So you can look at example 2, which is right here, sorry. Finding perimeter says this figure is made up of a semicircle and a triangle. Find the perimeter. Well, if you think about this triangle piece, that's pretty simple because the dimensions are there for you. But we have this semicircle, which means we have to find the circumference, but it's a semicircle, so we have to divide it by 2. So let's think back to our circumference formulas. I know that this right here is the diameter, so I have C is equal to pi times D. But I know that I'm going to have to divide that by 2 because it's a semicircle. I do not add the diameter back in because that's inside and we're only talking about the outside. So right now, this is the piece that we are working on, okay? Take a walk around your figure with a highlighter, a crayon, any sort of color, and once you've completely surrounded it, you have the complete perimeter. Okay, so this is equal to pi times d, which is 10 feet. Divide that by 2. Go to your calculator, 3.14 times 10, divide it by 2, you get 15.7. So this is 15.7 feet. All right, so I have 15.7 plus, I'm going to keep on walking around my perimeter, that's plus 6, and then I'm going to go plus 8. Okay, and then this will get you your whole perimeter. So it is 29.7 feet. Okay? All right, let's try another one. Example 3, finding the perimeter. Well, this is a running track. Looks like a big, giant oval, but you can see it's made up of a rectangle and 2 semicircles. Semicircle, semicircle. I want you all to think, if you have 2 semicircles, here's a semicircle, there's another semicircle, you basically just have a circle. So it makes it kind of easy. All right, you could see right here, this length here, that is the radius of your semicircle, okay? And then this is the length here of your rectangle. So this is 100, over here is also 100 meters, okay? And so now we're gonna find, we know these sides here, so I already know this part here, and I know this part here, okay? But I need the rest of the racetrack, okay, the running track. So here is my radius, so I'm gonna use this one, c equals 2 pi r. I don't need to divide by 2 even though I have a semicircle because the semicircles together make the whole circle. So c equals 2 times pi times r, 2 times pi times r, and that's equal to 200.96. So that's your semicircle, semicircle, that's your whole circle, 200.96 meters. So I have 200.96 meters plus 100 meters plus another 100 meters. Okay, and that's equal to 400.96 meters. Okay, so again, you had this side that was 100, this side that was 100, and then your semicircle and your semicircle together, your whole circle. And that gives you the perimeter around the running track. All right, here's a couple more to try on your own. So I would like you to pause it. But before you pause it, you could see that this is a semicircle with a diameter of 26 and a triangle with the side lengths here and here. And then this one's a little confusing, so I'm going to give you a little bit of a tip. It said it is made of a square and 2 semicircles. Okay, something to remember. If you have your 2 semicircles, that's just a circle. But because it's a square, I know that this side, this side, this side, and this side are all equal because it's a square, right? 4 of the same side. So if this is 8 meters, this is 8 meters, and this is 8 meters. So what does that mean? It means the diameter is 8 meters when you do the circle work. So C equals pi times D, okay? So you're gonna get this answer and then add these two to it to get your whole thing, okay? Now go ahead and pause it and give it a try. All right, I hope you paused it. So if we go to number 3 over here, it is about 74.82 centimeters. Whoops, there we go. And number 4, our square and our semicircle, 2 semicircles, is about 41.12 meters. Okay, I'll go ahead and work this one out super quick for you. So C equals pi times D, so C equals 3.14 times 8, 3.14 times 8. You get 25.12. So that's, this 25.12 is this part plus this part, okay? Then I need to add 8 and then add another 8. So add 8 and 8 to that, and that gets you your 41.12 meters, okay? So quick review, composite figures, just the outside of your entire shape, okay? Just the outside, just the outside, okay? Alrighty, hope that helps.